This is my review of the Dr. Stone Reboot, Chapter 5, Waiting for Byakuya is a Busy Job. And definitely didn't see this coming. It's definitely a turn. Basically, the Reboot series about Byakuya had no Byakuya in this chapter. Technically, didn't have him for 2 whole years. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Though it definitely is increasing my belief that, little right here is a Y-Man, because we've seen him upgrading himself throughout this entire chapter, making himself better, making improvements, continuing to learn and grow and become better. So, yeah, I can definitely see him still being alive 3,000 years in the future. Possibly on Mars. So basically, for the first 126 days of his isolation, he just kind of sits there, waiting. And then when his battery gets low, he recharges it. And then he charges. And then he waits some more. Over and over and over again. And this likely would have continued all the way up until the satellite crashed, but instead, they were hit by some debris, which caused some serious damage to the solar panels. I do love the little comment he makes where just a 1 gram piece of debris is equal to the power of multiple grenades. That is absolutely terrifying, and another reason why we should not be in space. Anyway, what I really love about this is it's not even like a question of him surviving or the space station staying afloat. He's literally just goes out to fix it so that they'll be able to play their video games when they get back. God damn, Rei, you are a good robot right there. Unfortunately, he can't actually navigate in space because he works by, shooting air back and forth. He sucks in on one side, shoots out the other, flies through the air. That works perfectly in a, space shuttle where he's got nothing but air all around him. But in outer space, he would have nothing to suck in and he'd just kind of float away forever. Bye-bye, Rei. So instead, he decides to dismantle all of Shamil's stuff because he was a jerk to Byakuya. Good job, Rei. And builds a Canadarm thing. Yeah, I have no idea how to actually pronounce that. Essentially, it's a metal arm that connects him back to the space shuttle and lets him navigate himself outside in space. This is pretty cool. He basically turns him into a giant freaking Gundam. I really got like a Gurren Lagann moment here, where he, the head connects to another robot and makes it a giant robot. And then he gets his first real view of the Earth from outside, and he's amazed. And once again, just applause to the artist behind this. You make the Earth look absolutely amazing in every shot. It's just absolutely beautiful. Good for you. And he repairs the solar panels. Well, not so much repairs them, it just rewires them so they'll keep working, even with a big freaking hole in the middle of them. Close enough. And another 200 days goes by before he realizes, wait a minute. There's something wrong with the space shuttle. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I should check. And do that, I'll use my laser gun! I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this, I freaked, like, what the freak is... How do you make a laser gun? Then I read the piece in the corner. Well, laser distance measures. Oh yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Anyway, he fires laser and finally realizes that their orbit is way, way off. Like, ridiculously off. From, when they launched the space shuttle as fast as they could to try to use it to correct their landing. So, not great. And what's more, the humans used up all the fuel, so he can't actually correct it. And he is going to die. Though once again, I just love his selflessness. It's doomed to burn away in Earth's atmosphere. Then I can no longer await Byakuya's return. Once again, not actually caring about his own life. He's just concerned about keeping the space shuttle up so that Byakuya and everyone else can return to it down the road. Probably tomorrow. I mean, it's been 400 days. I'm sure they've repaired enough stuff on Earth that they can get back to space any day now. Yeah, I'm sure they're coming back. And he harnesses his inner Senku, in a beautiful moment right there, in order to make dimethylhydrazine and dinitrogen tetroxide. Yes, from oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon. Woo, woo! And here we just get interesting moments. It's essentially what Dr. Stone would be if Senku woke up in a top-of-the-line research facility with everything he'd ever need. Which is weird. I mean, something I think a lot of people like about Dr. Stone is it's easy to follow because it's because it's made up of steps. You know, one thing builds on top of the other, to build on top of the other. I mean, you've even seen it in like the huge diagrams they have. Oh, this is how we'll make a cell phone. Oh, this is how we'll make the medicine. You know, it builds. So you don't have to worry about, oh, where do we find hydrochloric acid anymore? We're like, oh, yeah, we already know where to find that. So therefore, if we ever use it again, we just know we have it. And yet this is just something else entirely. Just like, okay, now I have all this stuff in the space shuttle, and I can use those to synthesize raw elements and blah 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 blah. Just I still enjoy it, but it kind of lacks something that the original Dr. Stone had, which is kind of sad. I mean, I'm honestly not sure what's going to happen now. Is the entire spin-off just going to be about REI? I mean, that'd definitely be, interesting, unexpected twist, especially since it's called Byakuya. Though I guess it could be, like, considered awaiting Byakuya or something like that. I mean, if they end up changing things and saying, okay, now let's peek on Earth, they can, go back to what make Dr. Stone great, showing off the steps of how all the guys on Earth managed to make things, which manages to make things, which managed to improve their lives bit by bit. The entire thing's REI, though. I can't think we'll lose that. At the very least, I hope we go back and forth between the two. Anyway, yeah, so he manages to do a bunch of fusion, creates enough fuel to get them back on orbit. So, yay! They're essentially safe for another year or so, a few years at least. But unfortunately, the space shuttle is still falling, as they all do. Given gravity, air resistance, blah blah blah. It's still going to end up crashing Earth sooner or later, so he needs more fuel. Oh, he's also made himself gas-propelled, which is a nice little upgrade. I guess that could technically mean he could even navigate freely in space. Just a thought. And she essentially builds a hydrogen-burning engine, so yay! This essentially means the space shuttle is going to be safe and sound for the next couple of years. Though now he's out of, air, water, and food, so that could be a problem if the humans ever come back. As he says, when you return, you'll have to bring a bunch of food. Maybe it'll be tomorrow! Yeah, no, not so much. Anyway, after about 2 years, he finally realizes, alright, I need more water if I'm going to make this work. Now, where am I going to find some water? That's it! I just need to go 25 million kilometers that way. And I'm honestly not sure where it is he's going. I mean, I looked this up, and I first thought it was Mars. Well, Mars colony, but I think Mars is like 250 million kilometers away. I mean, he lacks common sense. Maybe he got the measurements wrong on that, but that feels like a weird error to make. I mean, if he ends up doing this and going to Mars, he can create a whole freaking robot colony, do mining, excavating, whatever else he needs, just to, keep things going, keep improving, keep building to the point where he's essentially colonized the red planet completely. That's actually pretty freaking awesome. I still think he might be the Y-Man. Maybe the signal was coming from all the way from Mars. I think there's a 10-minute delay though when you send signals that way, so it wouldn't make that much sense. So yeah, honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen next. We're either just gonna completely forget about REI and move on to Byakuya and everyone else, or we're gonna keep continuing REI's journey. I think he's going to Mars. I might be wrong. I mean, it's literally the only place I can think of where there might be water of some sort. Just a guess. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. Is REI going to Mars? Is there water there? I think there's at least some. And is he going to make his own moon colony and become the new Y-Man? Let me know what you think down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, so you don't miss the next video. Until then,
peace.